We have a big day coming up at Sha Tin on Sunday afternoon with the dual Group 1 racing. We've got the Centenary Sprint Cup, of course, coming up over the 1,200 metres, the first leg of the Speed Series here in Hong Kong. And we've got the Stewards Cup, the first leg of the Triple Crown. Some of our big guns are back in action, Kaying Rising and Voyage Bubble. Great to have you joining us here on Racing to Win. I'm Tom Wood, joined by Paul Lally and Nick Child in the studio. And Nick, some of the big guns are here to play and a few visiting jockeys in town as well.
Yeah, there certainly is, Tom. So much to really look forward to. And you say those big guns, plenty of shots to fire from some of our leading performers here in Hong Kong. So really can't wait to see what comes up on Sunday. It's going to be a great day. Should be.
Looks like there's probably going to be plenty of support for a few of the favourites through the day, Paul. But what about jackpots? Plenty of first starters too.
Yeah, there are. There's 3 jackpots, 2 million going into the 5th double trio. So we did the same thing on Wednesday night. Very popular bet type. So chance to have a crack at that. Should get over the 12 million mark. And also 1.5 million going in races in the features races 6 and 8 in the quartet and first 4 merge pool. So not big field. So you could get a decent divvy there.
Let's have a look at the meeting details for the weekend with the A course in operation, meeting number 39 this season. 11 races, so an earlier start time of 12:34, race number 1. And the Group 1 features at 3 o'clock for the Centenary Sprint Cup and the Stewards Cup underway at 5 minutes past 4 o'clock. Let's have a look at the field for the first of the Group 1s. The sprinters in action here, and Kaying Rising, of course, off his win on International Day, has been freshened up for the assignment this weekend. Victor, the winner, now in the stable of David Eustace. The cheek pieces are off, the crossover noseband on. Helios Express with How Deep Is Your Love, one of a couple in the race for trainer John Size. And further down, you've got Invincible Sage, who I thought trialled better at Happy Valley recently. Lucky With You, Beauty Waves and also Magic Control come out of the race behind How Deep Is Your Love down the straight at Sha Tin, the Bohemia Sprint Trophy. It's been a number of years, in fact a number of seasons, since we've seen jockey Craig Williams here in town in Hong Kong. He's no stranger to racing here, and Nick caught up with him earlier in the week to discuss this weekend's efforts.
Well, always a privilege and a pleasure to have Craig Williams join us on the show. Craig, great to chat to you. Now, you haven't been to Hong Kong for a couple of years, but you must be looking forward to coming back.
Yeah, I certainly am, Nick. It's, when I spent, I was contracted there for 3 non-stop years, and before then I had a 3-month contract, and it always feels like home away from home. A lot of familiar stuff that, again, with development and obviously things changing, the place always keeps evolving and changing, but it's quite familiar for me, and I've got a lot of really good friends and colleagues that I've worked with over a period of time, and looking forward to getting back there.
You're coming over, Craig, to ride Magic Control in the Centenary Sprint. Obviously, he's a very smart horse. I'm not sure how much you know about him, but I mean, he's formed both in Australia when racing under the name of Archo Nacho, and he's formed now in Hong Kong. It is pretty good.
Yeah, is it easier for a race caller for his previous name or his new name?
Maybe his new one. Maybe his new.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't been tested past 5 furlongs since coming to Hong Kong. This is his 2nd season. Cody Moe, his trainers, looks like he's got a really good handle on him and understanding a lot more. He's been very effective down the straight at Sha Tin, so this is going to be his first time in Hong Kong going to 1,200 and around the bend at Sha Tin. And but his previous form, when they purchased him in Australia, he won the Poseidon and another race over 1,200. So it's really good. But again, it's the favourite is a special horse. It's not going to be an easy assignment, but I'm looking forward to having my first race ride on him and seeing how he performs at the 1,200 against the best in Hong Kong.
Yeah, absolutely. I must ask you, Craig. Of course, you work very closely with Team Lindsay Park, obviously in Australia with the boys over there, and obviously David Hayes now training here. You've always ridden for the stable. I mean, what have you made as an onlooker of Kaying Rising? I mean, you've ridden a lot of very good sprinters. I'm sure you'd like to ride this guy, but he looks something out of the box, doesn't he, really?
Yes, well, David already knows what a good horse is. He's trained that many good ones, especially sprinters. So when they've got the big wrap on them, and then they've got the form and they're producing on the race day, it just is only backed up by what the belief of the trainer and the stable has, and obviously Zach. But what I noticed on the International Day when I was watching from Australia, I was watching the coverage, I noticed that it's amazing. He just beat all the best international horses that came to Hong Kong, all the best in Hong Kong. And the conversation was, oh, we thought he should have won by further. Well, he's such a good racehorse. He's won, so he's done the job. But it's amazing how much high esteem that they have for the horse's ability, because they're all like, he should have won by further. So it tells you how good he is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, you do have a very good horse to ride, and obviously, you know, as you say, it's not always as clear cut as it may seem on paper. You mentioned Zach Purton there. That leads me on quite nicely. Obviously, at the moment, we're all on countdown, and there are 4 winners to go before breaking the record. You've been in this game, Craig, a good while now. You've ridden with Zach, you've ridden with Douglas White. Just an overview of what we're seeing at the moment, because the numbers are just mind-boggling. And I mean, those 2 guys, both as people and riders, what's your take on the whole situation?
Oh, I know people like to say, use the word loosely, champions, but they are. In regards to the professional athletes as being a jockey, that's exactly what they are. You can't be successful as much as they are over a period of time unless they're just doing everything right and more than everyone else. And when I was competing against Douglas as a rider, when he was riding, I would swear that he went to bed and he dreamt about how the race was going to be run. He just, his timing was just sensational. He just rode for the position. He got that, and and that's what Zach's doing. And to be successful in Hong Kong, you have to be doing not 1 or 2 things right. You have to be doing everything right. And for those 2 riders, people, horsemen, to do it so well for so many seasons, that's the quality of champions. So yeah, so it's great, because every time I go to work, I want to learn and do better and do more. And having the opportunity to come to Hong Kong, having the opportunity to ride against Douglas and Zach, has made me as good a rider as I am, but I still keep evolving to be better every time as well. So I'm really looking forward to getting over and competing against Zach, Hugh Bowman, James McDonald, Blake Shin, Keris Teaton, all the local riders as well, who I haven't ridden against before. So another thing that I have to study up, not just only the horses, but also the riders, because I'm not familiar with riding against them on a regular basis. So for me, it's exciting to get in and start doing my homework and form and start strategizing, against the opposition horses and riders. But again, we love good competition, and that's what brings people to the races. Well, we hope it does, and looking forward to it.
Fantastic to have Craig Williams on Racing to Win this week. But let's delve into the form for the Centenary Sprint Cup, Paul. But first of all, the speed map. What do they do with Magic Control? Because has he maybe the fly in the ointment for Victor the Winner as well? Yeah,
he could be. Look, I think Victor the Winner from his inside draw can hold the rail and lead. It's what Magic Control does. If he puts pressure on Victor the Winner, will he upset his own chances? I think if he has to ride his own race, he'll go just in behind, which will really help Kane Rising, because then he can easily get across. So those first 3, I think, is going to be the key to the whole race.
Speaking of Victor the Winner, he of course won this race last season, but he has been a little bit off the boil since then. Nicky went to Japan, he ran well there, but stable change for him, and Lucky Swainess, we might be seeing him again fairly shortly too, Lucky Swainess.
Yeah, let's hope so, of course. Obviously, he's been on the sidelines for a little while. As you say, Victor the Winner, obviously, now with David Eustace, so that's interesting, of course. And obviously, Stronger was a handy horse on Tuesday. Hot King Prawn, some good names on there.
Yeah, beat the clock. We saw those colours win on Wednesday night, didn't we?
We certainly did. So let's hear from Hugh Bowman. He, of course, is riding Helios Express, who ran a super race last time out. We'll see if he can try and topple Kaying Rising this time round.
Hugh, Helios Express is your ride coming up in the Group 1 sprint on Sunday. You got pretty close to Kaying Rising last time. I imagine you'd like to go one place better, wouldn't you?
Well, of course we would. And the horse in fantastic order. He's trialled up well since that race, and yeah, he's progressing nicely. So see what happens.
He's had a recent trial, Hugh. How did he feel in that trial?
Yeah, he felt good. He felt really good. He's a horse that continues to develop and mature, which is required. But he's going about business very well, and I'm sure we can expect a performance as good, if not better, than the international race last month. And yeah, he's certainly well placed.
Given what we know about him here and his profile, and obviously how good a 4-year-old he was, winning obviously the Classic Cup up to 1800 metres, he's quite a unique type of horse, the fact that he's been able to sort of drop back to this trip and get as competitive at this level.
Well, I think it was amazing the way he's able to stretch himself, certainly. I think a mile's certainly within his repertoire, but I think stretching up to the 1800, although it was against the 4-year-olds and it was a very slowly run event, I think he's certainly more suited in these races where the speed's on and he gets in that beautiful rhythm. Obviously, he has to tackle Ka-Ying Rising, who's arguably the best sprinter in the world at the moment. So, I mean, you know, we're on no illusion there, as I've said before, but I mean, that is what it is. We can only deal with the horse that we've got, and he's a very good horse, and I don't think we've seen the best of him. So we'll continue to, you know, treat him as such, and the results will look after themselves.
Hugh Bowman there on Helios Express. Let's go back and have a look at him in the replay, of course, from International Day with Ka-Ying Rising and co. You've got Helios Express well back. Victor, the winner, of course, has done a power of work up front. Beauty Waves, Invincible Sage, and How Deep Is Your Love, of course, runs on from the back here. Paul, he really flew home this day, Helios Express, despite being held up in the early part of the straight.
Yeah, it was a really good run from him. And look, it's just unfortunate he's run into, as Hugh said himself, they're one of the best sprinters, if not the best sprinter in the world at the moment in Ka-Ying Rising. He's going to run his race. I think he'll get the pace to suit with Victor the winner, and I can see him running the Quinella.
Yeah, look, Ka-Ying was always holding them there, but he ran him down. And if there is a chink in the favourite's armour, Helios Express is the one that can capitalise. He's a very good horse. Let's make no bones about that.
Yeah, indeed. Let's have a look at the information here. Of course, he's now a one-time Group 1 winner. He's a 9-time winner from his 11 starts, and he's looking to rack up his second Group 1 win at the weekend. Nick, Zach's book of rides, of course, he needs 3 to equal, 4 to take that record, and he's got 7 mounts through the day.
Yeah, they got some nice. Look, it's not going to be easy on these big days. I mean, there might be 1, there might be 2, there might be 4. Who knows? But I think With a Smile looks an interesting newcomer. Mr. Energia, Paul. I know it's a horse you've always had plenty of time. He's got rides, of course, in the big races. Beauty Eternal being the other one. Light Years Charm. He's not without some sort of chance. I
think he's a good chance, Light Years Charm, and I do like Stunning Peach as well. So those two are probably the best for me. Those two, anyway.
Zach Purton, of course, rode this horse here we're about to see last time out, and that is How Deep Is Your Love in the Bohemia Sprint Trophy with Beauty Waves and Magic Control. Magic Control just wanted to sort of lay out a little bit late here, Paul, but it was a game performance from How Deep Is Your Love. Back in trip, but he's up back in grade here again.
Yeah, so look, he's better suited over the 1,200 metres for sure, How Deep Is Your Love. Again, another one who'll get the pace to suit. I think he'll be finishing off strongly. Magic Express, Magic Control, just coming back to the 1,200 just worries me a little bit with him.
Yeah, look, it's an interesting dynamic. Obviously, the winner this day, he was tough, wasn't he, to go? So he's got £15 to find on local ratings with Ka-Ying Rising. So, you know, he's got a bit to do with him, but he'll run his race. He usually does.
Last year's winner of this race, of course, Victor the winner. He's been to Japan. He's back here in Hong Kong. They've decided to have a change of trainer with him. David Eustace gets an opportunity here, Nick, with a prior Group 1 winner. What did you think of his trial at Happy Valley?
Yeah, look, didn't mind it. I mean, look, he's gone through the motions there, and he was obviously much the best horse in the trial, given what we know about him. But look, in his 3 runs so far this campaign, he's not been in the same sort of form. He needs to sort of spark back into life, Paul, really. Yeah,
he does. But they do say a change is as good as a holiday or good as a rest, isn't it? So there is that. The trial was nothing wrong with the trial. We know at his best he's a very good horse. So I've got to put him in a minor line. OK, time for the selections. Paul, is it a 1-2 from International Day again, you think? That's how I'm going to go, yeah. 1 to beat 3. So he's on top there, which is Ka-Ying Rising to beat Helios Express. How Deep Is Your Love and Victor the winner for 4th. Top of the book, 1-3-4-2. Yeah,
I've also got the one on top. Hard to go past him, really, with 3 making it in for second. That is Helios Express. So Ka-Ying Rising, Helios Express. Magic Control goes in. Look, I'm keen on the booking there of Craig Williams. I think he's very interesting. Has run this trip in Australia. And How Deep Is Your Love? He'll give his running, I'm sure, once again. 1, 3, 8 and 4.
That is a preview of the first of our Group 1s, the Centenary Sprint Cup. Plenty more coming up here on Racing to Win. Stay with us. We preview the Stewards Cup, the second of the Group 1s, on Sunday at Sha Tin. Welcome back to Racing to Win. Before we get into the preview of the Group 1 Stewards Cup, we've got the last run reminder, Paul, and they've been on fire recently. What are we going with this weekend?
I'm going to go with the Zach Purton mount, actually. Light Years Charm there. He's comes up in race number 7. Here's his last run here over the 1400 metres. He was drew wide and he was slow away, so he ended up being taken all the way to the back there, and he made noticeable ground on the straight. Now, they didn't go quickly in this race at all. In fact, they were 0.84 slower than standard for that first 600. He comes out wide, and you'll see the ground he makes up off that slow pace as well in the straight. And once he got clear air, I thought he stretched out really nicely. With Zach aboard, I think he's one of the main chances, and he's one that maybe can ring the bell there on Sunday. Really nice finish from him. Horse on his inside in the green colours, a Bundle Award. He looks like he's a good chance as well on the day. But nice run from that horse.
Yep, certainly was, of course, behind Packing Angel. So that is race 7, number 9, Light Years Charm for Zach Purton, the last run reminder. Time to look at the field for the Group 1 Stewards Cup over the 1600 metres. The first leg, of course, of the Hong Kong Triple Crown Series. That's made up, of course, of the Gold Cup and then into the Champions and Chater. Voyage Bubble at the top, looking to win this race for back-to-back years. California Spangle there for Tony Cruz, back up to a mile. Beauty Eternal, you've got Beauty Joy there for Tony Cruz as well, and Derek Long takes the ride there. Galaxy Patch to be ridden by Blake Shin. Chang Cheng Glory with Vincent Ho, Redline Bowman, and Patch of Theta after winning the Group 3 on New Year's Day is into a Group 1 company for the first time. How does this pace work out, Paul? California Spangle, he lead. He had to be shaken up a bit in those early stages last start over the 14 to lead.
Yeah, 16 here though. He should be fine from an inside draw. He's drawn barrier 2, so he should be able to cross Patch of Theatre, who doesn't like to lead, so he should be able to get there easy enough. Beauty Eternal's drawn wide, but I think he can come across. I don't think he can cross California Spangle, but he can sit outside him. Patch of Theatre, Voyage Bubble will get every opportunity. I think every horse is going to get its chance in the 8-runner race.
I mentioned before that Voyage Bubble, of course, won this race last year, and he's amongst some very good names, Nick, that have won this race down through the years. Golden 60, Waikuku in the last few years as well.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I mean, good old Waikuku, he loved this race, didn't he? Won it a couple of times, and it's obviously so too Golden 60. So it's got a really rich history, Paul. Yeah,
but nice synergy if Voyage Bubble wins. It'll be 2 by 2 by 2.
Would be. I like the way you think there. He's very much the new kid on the block here in this grade as Patch of Theta. He was very, very impressive last time out, and Karis Teton takes the ride this weekend once again.
Karis Teton, we've got Group 1 action coming up on Sunday, and your mount in the Stewards Cup is Patch of Theta, who you won last time out. It must be an exciting time, obviously, staying on him, and he's an exciting horse.
Yes, Nick, he's a very exciting horse. Of course, it was a really nice win last time. He's a progressing horse. So, yeah, I'm really happy with his performance.
I know this is obviously a totally different level to his Group 3 win, but to take the positives out of it, which there were plenty. I mean, he, as you say, he's an up-and-coming horse, and he clearly has a bit more to offer, doesn't he?
Yeah, 100%. If you look at his race last time, he did a couple of things wrong, you know. First turn, he was travelling a little bit hard, and, you know, to still have the energy, to still have the turn of foot he showed in the straight was incredible. You know, it's going to be a big task, of course, taking on some really good horses. So, but I think he's got the potential. I think he's got the class to be there. So, you know, he's got a nice draw to help him. So, if he gets the right run, I think it's going to be very competitive.
That win last time in the Chinese Club Challenge Cup was 14, of course. But when you go back and look at his mile win, I mean, that was perhaps one of his most impressive performances, because he really did relish the mile.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, he's run the trip. Like you said, that was a really good win for him. Like I said, he's a horse that done nothing wrong. You know, he's always trying a good run or he wins. So, like I said, he's an exciting horse for the future.
He certainly is a very exciting horse. He's certainly on the up, is Patch of Theta. Let's have a look at some of his rivals, of course, coming out of International Day. And we pick it up here from the 600 metres with Voyage Bubble up near the pace. You've also got right there as well Galaxy Patch back in the field. Beauty Joy ran a super race this day as well, Paul, from back in the field. Voyage Bubble up outside the leader here. Beauty Eternal obviously has to settle, but he did settle better here last start.
Yeah, he did, definitely. Look, I think Voyage Bubble can win again. He's going to get a similar type of run. Look, he just won this with ease. He just keeps improving year on year, this horse. And I think he's in better form than he was coming into when he won this race last time. This is a slightly harder race, but thought he won it really nicely.
He did. Look, I think he's arguably looking as good as ever at the age of 6, isn't he? I mean, look, another good run there from Beauty Joy back in 3rd, though. From the records I could find, Tom, no 8-year-old has won the race since '93, so that they find it extremely tough. But I think Voyage Bubble, on his best form, takes a little bit of stopping again, doesn't he?
Yeah, I didn't mind the run of Chang Cheng Glory as well. I've always had time for this horse, and he's a big, honest horse, and you can see him in those pink blinkers. He stayed on quite nicely, just out of the places.
Yeah, he did. He did. Never knows how to run a bad race, does he, really?
No, he certainly doesn't. Obviously, the reason we showed that was because there was certainly some interference there that was caused by Chang Cheng Glory. And here's some of the sectional times out of race 2:46, the Hong Kong mile, and some of the best splits there, Nick, certainly from Beauty Joy in that midsection from Galaxy Patch.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, Galaxy Patch, we know, is a very smart horse. Of course, he had a wide gate that day, so obviously it wasn't ideal for him.
His trial, Paul, he was just going through the motions this morning, and Blake Shin teaming up with him again. He has ridden, of course, Galaxy Patch in the past for a placing, and Blake's been a bit of a world traveller this week.
Yeah, he definitely has. He's been everywhere, isn't he? And look, as you say, it was a maintenance trial for this horse. He just wasn't let go. Finished off nicely, and a really good hit out for Voyage Bubble as well. So both these horses have had decent workouts. More so Voyage Bubble. He was just asked to do a bit more.
Yeah, I think just bring them to the boil nicely. So both horses certainly confirming their well-being.
Where's Beauty Eternal at the moment, do you feel, Nick? Because they've changed sort of the bit with him. They've tinkered with the gear, the earplugs. He's been more relaxed in his last couple, particularly his last start. But overall, you've probably got to say he's been a bit disappointing. Yeah,
I think I tend to agree. I think you hit the nail on the head there, Tom. And obviously, not forgetting he did win the Champions Mile last April, of course. So he is a Group 1 winner in his own right. As you say, they've changed a few things around with him, and not forgetting John Size. He's got an excellent record in this race.
No, definitely. The thing that worries me with him is California Spangle in the race, because he's not going to get his own way, is he?
John Size, he's really roared into life. Paul, who do you think some of his better chances are at the weekend are?
Look, Raging Rapid's interesting because he's had 18 trials. I think Brendan Express can bounce back. He was disappointing last time. Bundle of Water, for me, is the standout.
Yeah, nice horse indeed. And he's also got, of course, Mickley and Majestic Express. Mickley stepping up in trip.
OK, selections, Paul, for the Stewards Cup?
Going to go with Voyage Bubble to win. I think he picks himself there. To beat the up-and-comer, Patch of Thedo, really good Group 3 win from him last time. Galaxy Patch and Chang Cheng Glory, 1-8-5-6.
Yeah, slightly against the grain for me. Patch of Thedo, let's take a chance for this up-and-coming youngster. I think he's a really smart horse, this fellow. Voyage Bubble goes in for 2nd. Galaxy Patch in, and I've put Beauty Eternal in there for 4th. 8-1-5-3.
Those are the boys' selections for the Group 1 Stewards Cup. All the race-by-race videos can be found on the website. That is hkjc.com. It's now time for the best bets. Paul, and you are first cab off the rank.
Yeah, I'm going to go early in the day. Race number 2, number 12 here, Bienvenue. Very good run last time behind Master of My Universe, who's a really smart horse. And we'll make the value in race 4, number 7, Top Time, coming back here to Chartin. Really good run, 2 starts ago, and didn't get the rub of the green last time. The player of the day, QQP in race 3, Flying Luck, Mighty Strength, and Carry On Smiling, 1-6-10.
And best bet for me, race 3, number 1, Flying Luck. He's been unlucky. Hopefully he gets the rub of the green this time in. I think he can win. And the value play, race 9, number 8, Lost Child. Craig Williams on board for Michael Chang there. And the play, race 5, numbers 2, 6 and 7 in that race.
Best bet for me, it comes up in race number 10, Stunning Peach. Surely he gets the rub of the green this time round for Tony Cruz, Zach Burton on the way to the 4-year-old series. Jolly Roller I thought might be some value. Obviously David Hayes' horse in that race, probably the one to beat, and the play with the Stunning Peach, Mickley, and also Braveheart's QQP in race number 10. Let's have a look at what we've got coming up in the diary over the next week or so here in Hong Kong. Of course, we can't wait for Romantic Warrior to step out in the Middle East, Nick, but Wednesday night, Happy Valley, Chartin again next weekend, 11 races.
Yeah, plenty to get your teeth stuck into there, Paul.
Plenty of racing, 9 races, 11 races, so plenty of good betting opportunities for everyone.
Yeah, there certainly are. So make sure you would join us for all the action at Chartin. Gentleman's Day, you got your cravat sorted?
Getting there, yeah, you wait and see.
You won't see one on me, but I'll look forward to seeing you guys.
Looking forward to your company for 12:30 race number 1. You can join us for all the action from midday at Chartin for Gentleman's Race Day.